Alright, what's good YouTube? Gentlemen, Tom's here back with another video on the channel, and today we have a CDLA Week 4 matchup. We, the CopenhagenGallers, are going up against the Bed Time Bidoofs, code 5 Flap. And I do believe we have played against Flap once before in the WPF. I don't remember the outcome, so I'm just gonna guess we maybe won, maybe lost, I can't remember, but I'm just hoping we win today. Because if we do win today, we will go on a 2-game win streak, making us 2-2 for the total of the league, which is a semi-decent start. Like, it's an okay start. It makes it so we still will be in contention for playoffs, where if we lose, we kind of have to win out and just hope for the best, I think. And with that in mind, I have tried to prep for Flap's team, but I will full-on admit, I forgot I had to play this match. I recently joined another league, the STL, which you should have seen the draft analysis for last week, Sunday, I believe. And, I kind of just forgot I had to prepare for the match while we were drafting, so I had to do this like the day before, late at night, and then a little bit now here before the match. And he has a very scary team. He actually has an incredibly scary mon for our team, which I hate going against, and that is Genesect. And his entire team consists of Genesect, Latios, Thunderous, Therian, Crocodile, Blissey, Serena, Slurpuff, Pyukumuku, Mega Bandit, Galarian Zapdos, and Simisear. So it's, as I mentioned, is very scary. The Genesect is incredibly difficult to play against because the download ability makes it so it can be both physical and special. It has the same stats in both attacks. I believe it's 120 on both, but getting the +1 in either could be detrimental. And while you can kind of manipulate it a little bit with your team, there are just some instances where that's impossible to do. Also, Genesect's move pool is so vast and just broad that I cannot predict which moves he's gonna have. I know he's gonna have U-turn. Like, I feel like U-turn is pretty, like, you know, standard mandatory. I'm thinking he's gonna have stab steal just because we have DANCIE, and DANCIE is really good in this game if we can get it into the correct positions. And then I think probably Ice Beam, so hits like Zapdos, Roserade, Donphan, stuff like that. What the fourth move is going to be, I have no idea, because realistically, he doesn't need Flamethrower for Pheromosa. He might want it for Jirachi, but he can even just rock like a bug move, like Bug Buzz or something, because they still hit neutral on Jirachi, and Jirachi doesn't really take it that well after that. And but it could also be some random ass move, maybe a setup move or something, because I do believe he can run setup on it, so that's very scary. That Genesect is I might just lose if he's like a setup Genesect, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. Overall, we have the advantage when it comes to speed. We have the we have the better speed tiers versus his team, but he has like so many mons that can be Choice Scarf, like Latios, Thunderous, Simisear, I suppose, Galarian Zapdos, Genesect itself, and Crocodile are all amazing Choice Scarf options. Maybe for the lack of Simisear, but like Simisear is still like a semi-decent fire type for the low price point. But yeah, his team is so difficult to prep for just because I don't know what it's going to be Choice Scarf, so I have to really scout around. Now, as I mentioned, we do have the overwhelming speed advantage, and of course that starts out with our Pheromosa. Queen the Pheromosa with heavy duty boots, beast boost, U-turn, triple axle, close combat, and protect. 200 in HP, 252 in attack, 4 in defense, with 52 in speed with the adamant nature. So I checked for Slurpuff, like Belly Drum Slurpuff. Unfortunately, it does outspeed us after it gets the Unburden boost, so we can't outspeed a Pheromosa. So I just said, okay, I'm just gonna go for the adamant, like adamant max attack. Adamant max attack, speed creeping the Latios. And if he's bringing a Choice Scarf, he's bringing a Choice Scarf. My highest prediction, it's gonna be Genesect. Actually, I actually think Genesect might be the best Scarf he has. Maybe Thunderous, but I am bringing something for Thunderous in that regards. And overall, I do think we have a good chance to win if we just make sure we go first in the sense of offensive pressure. It's very important our team actually goes first. Now, regarding Pheromosa's moves, the reason we're running Protect over like something else is to scout out the Scarf mon. If we kill something Pheromosa and he sends in a mon, I want to Protect so I can see what move they're going for, and therefore in return know what I have to swap into. Now, I really kind of want to bring Taunt for like the Pyukumuku, because if Pyukumuku comes, having Taunt on Pheromosa just so he can counter and all that would be amazing. It literally renders that useless. But I feel like I do need all three of my my offensive moves, which is really annoying, because I need U-turn for the momentum, I need triple axle for just any generic like hitting against like Latios and Thunderous and Crook and stuff like that. Though Crook dies to do other moves as well, of course. And we have close combat just because it's the best stab we have, and it does so much damage to a lot of his mon. If he brings Mega Bayonet, we do have to watch a little bit about what we do with close combat and it can will-o-wisp and whatnot, but I feel like we can answer Mega Bayonet fairly decently. And one of those reasons is Titania, the Mega DANCIE. So DANCIE, as I mentioned, has a really good matchup actually with Magic Bounce, of course, Moonblast, Mystical Fire. I opted for Diamond Storm over Power Gem for one specific reason, that is Blissey. Rock Polish with 72 in attack, 252 in special attack, and 184 in speed with a hasty nature. So we are running decent speed in this because I want to naturally outspeed the Thunderous. Even though this is a setup DANCIE, so it most likely is not going to come in unless we need it to win. I still want to be able to naturally outpace the Thunders in case I'm a little bit scared of it, or in case I need to just revenge it very quickly because maybe it's set up with like a nasty plot or something and I just need to kill it. DANCIE is like just a safe way to do that, because Triple Axle with Pheromosa is way more risky. Though we do also have one other mon that can revenge against a Thunderous that isn't speed boosted, but we'll get to that in a little bit in a split second. But yeah, as I mentioned, DANCIE, that's the win con this time around. If we can get the Rock Polish up and we basically just need like about 10-15% damage, maybe 20% damage on everything, and we win. Like Blissey is the one thing that takes the hit. Blissey does nothing back because it can't status us in any way. It can't do anything to us. It can only seismic toss us. So as long as we're somewhat healthy, we can do it. And we have a couple of setup options, so that's pretty good. Next up, we have Kusan the Sneasel with Heavy Duty Boost, Inner Focus, Ice Shot, Knockoff, Icicle Crash, and Sword Stance. 14 HP, 252 in attack, and 216 speed with a Joe Nature. So, as I mentioned, this can also outspeed the Thunderous and of course the Latios. It's really good against both of those. It's really good against Crook because it can't get intimidated. It's good against Serena. It's good against the Bayonet, but because Bayonet can't target with Prankster. We outpace a non-Scarf, or I think it does get Agility, Galarian Zapdos or something. I can't remember what it does. But we outpace a lot of his team. Honestly, just Dual Stab does a lot of damage to him. Sorry. Sword Stance is mostly just there to try and get it hit as hard as possible. We can set up on a few things, like a Latios locked into Psychic maybe, or maybe if we just pressure it out. Same with like Thunderous, if we just pressure it out. Blissey you can kind of set up on. Bayonet, if he brings that, we can probably set up on. Same with Pyugu, stuff like that. So I see some decent opportunities. You could argue maybe just going for attacks, because this isn't the endgame sweeper, it's just here to do damage. But realistically, if we can get +2 on this, we actually might just be able to win with this as well. Especially should it turn out that he doesn't bring a Choice Scarf up, though. If he doesn't bring a Choice Scarf, I feel like he's a mad lad. Also, as you can see, we Heavy Duty Boost on this and Pheromosa because I don't want to get Sticky Webbed in case he does bring it. Next up, we have Stormbreaker the Zapdos with Heavy Duty Boots. That's more just to avoid rocks, you know. Static, U-Turn, Heatwave, Thunderbolt, and Roost. I opted for Heatwave over Hurricane because I would rather be able to hit the Genesect than I would be able to hit the Latios. Like right now, we don't hit the Latios, though U-Turn is super effective, so that's very nice. But realistically, this is just here to help against like Crook, Serena, Galarian Zapdos. Like Galarian, this is Walls Galarian Zapdos almost entirely, so I don't think he's bringing that thing. But also just pretty decent for Crook. If Genesect is physical, this is also pretty decent for that. Though I still do think he will bring like Ice Beam for it, maybe something in that regard. But yeah, Zapdos overall is like decent. It's not amazing, but it's decent in this matchup. Next up, we have Sunisha, the Donphan, finally making its debut. I've been wanting to bring this because I love Donphan. I think Donphan is such a fun mon, but I just don't think it has had good matchups. And arguably, you can actually say this matchup isn't even that great because there are like 3 things above the ground, which is really, really annoying. But it can still do work. So we're running Fire Fang because again, I don't want to allow that Genesect to have any free room anywhere. If it swaps into me, thinking it can kill me with like an Ice Beam, I am clicking Fire Fang. I am, or maybe Knock Off, depending on the situation. But I am hitting that thing. I'm not swapping, I think, unless I'm on like very low health. We have 248 in HP, 44 in defense, and 216 in special defense with a Calvin Nature. And as always, we have very sped F to take hits from like Thunderous, from Latios. I know Thunderous can get knock off, but I don't know if he's necessarily going to run it. He probably will. It's just amazing to run. But this is just generally really good. Sorry. This is just generally really good to run against his team. Now, the move Fire Fang, Knock Off, Rapid and Earthquake, I really wanted to bring Stone Edge, but I opted to bring Knock Off instead just because if he brings like Blissey, I want to be able to knock off its leftovers. I want to be able to knock off other mons. It's just, Knock Off is really good and spammable this week. So I kind of just wanted to have it. Giving up on Stone Edge might cost me in the long run, but I'm hoping it won't. And last team main bundle in this week, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of scared about it. Super Cow, the Miltank with leftovers, Thick Fat, Fire Punch, Body Slam, Mud Drink, and Stealth Rock. 248 in HP, 32 in defense, 228 in special defense, and this is, if you look at the spread and the exact amount of defense and special defense we get, it's very intentional. We get 254 in defense and 256 in special defense. What does that mean? That means if Genesect swaps in on us, it gets a special attack boost. If it's physical Genesect, I can handle it with Zapdos, I think. If it's special, which I think it will be, I need to be able to handle it with both Donphan and Miltank. Realistically, I don't think that's actually something that's gonna happen. I literally don't think I can handle Genesect. I have to catch it. I have to kill it as fast as possible or something, because I can't handle the Genesect. But yeah, Miltank is here to be Spadef, Help, Donphan. It can also take hits from like Latios and Thunders, and we have Body Slams, so we can potentially pair some stuff. We have Milk Drink for healing. I still work because it's just one by stuff at some point. But yeah, that's the team this week. As always, if you liked the video so far, make sure to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below with thought of the team builder, and subscribe to the channel for future videos. I will now head into the battle, so peace, YouTube. Alright, what's good YouTube, and welcome to a CDLA Week 4 battle. And as you can see here, I unfortunately had to do post-comms because I was a dumbass and accidentally hit my button that changed the scene to this during the battle. So half the battle was like this instead of like this. So we're doing a post-comms. I can quickly explain a little bit about what happened. So we played Flap, coach of the Bed Time Bidoofs, also known as Flappington, on the showdown, and let's just get to it. So I lead off Donphan, he leads off Slurpuff. The reason I led off Donphan is because I felt like Donphan was like a really good lead matchup here. He couldn't kill it in any way possible at all, like because we are AV with a lot of Spadef. So we take hits from special Genesect, Latios, Thunderous, Simisear, Blissey, and Slurpuff doesn't touch us really that much. So overall, I thought it was a good lead up, even though it's not a Rocks Donphan, it's an AV Donphan. So he actually turns out to have Yawn on the Slurpuff, which is kind of cool. Like, I didn't think about it, but that is actually pretty good. We knocked off the Citrus Berry. It gets the Unburden, but that's fine. This just means it won't heal later on, which I'm very happy about. Now, I pivot into Zapdos because I wanted to see what he wanted to do. He just degleamed, so I go back into Donphan after the U-turn. He what's it called? Hit us with the Dazzling Gleam on Donphan. I EQ, I 2-ko him. He gets up his webs to be sure. And in this situation, so let me reset here. This situation where we kill the Slurpuff. Right. Okay, let's, come on, speed up, please. Here. I was uncertain exactly what he wants to do because Donphan was actually proving to be, because as I looked through like the mons he had and what he brought, he didn't have a good way of killing AV Donphan. Like, his knockoff users were Thunderous, and I think Simisear gets a well, but Simisear would of course die. And with Thunderous, he would have to fear we may have be carrying Stone Edge. So overall, I actually did think a little bit about what exactly is he going to bring in, and he brings in, as you can see here, the Genesect. Now, I knew I could, even with the special attack boost, I could take any one hit from a Genesect. I think even Specs, I think we would live. I'm pretty sure we will live a modest Specs with like 5% HP or something like that. He clicks Ice Beam, and I learned from this that he is probably modest Choice Scarf or timid Expert Belt. Now, I think throughout the game, I actually haven't gotten the sets yet, so I'm not 100% sure. But I think it ended up being modest Choice Scarf. That's what it looks like throughout the game. And I decided to rabbit spin the webs away because I think it benefits us a little bit towards the end game, because it makes our DANCIE viable throughout the entire game with the +2 Rock Polish, meaning we always outspeed anything. Now, looking at it, we actually could have maybe kept the webs up, because a +2 DANCIE with the -1 for webs would actually still outspeed pretty much the entirety of his team, except for Scarf Latios, which we will find out at some point is not Choice Scarf. So he kills up Donphan, pretty straightforward. I go into Miltank because realistically, I don't have too many mons that wanted to take a hit fully, and I still wasn't 100% sure at this time that he was Scarf or Expert Belt. If he was Expert Belt and I sent out Sneasel, I would have just sacrificed Sneasel for no reason. So I went to go Miltank because it felt like the more neutral ground, and he did swap out because we are thick fat, so he would have done nothing if he was locked. I get my rocks up, I body slam, I get the para. He gets para, that's amazing. We now have rocks up and we have 0 damage on Miltank. I go into Sneasel because I'm like, I want to be aggressive. He gets another para, and I felt, if like, you can't see the chat, but I felt, actually I can see. I felt bad about that. Like I was not happy about that. I don't like getting those times of multiple hacks, but I take the opportunity. I set up the source stance. He gets the 3rd para, which I'm sorry, that's insane. I knock off the 70 damage to the Blissey. We knocks off the leftovers. Now this means Blissey is actually dead the rest of the game. All our mons guaranteed 2-hit KO Blissey after rocks. This Blissey is dead for the rest of the game. Even Zapdos with a Thunderbolt would kill it. So he goes into Genesect. I predict he will click a physical move because he got the attack boost, like either Iron Head or U-turn, so I go Zapdos. Hoping for the para, but also Zapdos was our least useful member at this point, so I was like, let me just put in Zapdos. He goes into Latios afterwards, and he kills me with the Psychic. I learned from this that he's choice specs. The Psychic shouldn't have been able to kill what's it called, Zapdos, unless he's boosted, and he didn't get life up damage. Soul Dew, I think we were just out of range of. I actually didn't check it, but I'm pretty sure we were, because life up was a roll, if I believe. So that means he's probably choice spec. So I go into Sneasel again because this is a free opportunity. I decided to just attack because I didn't want to risk Sword Stancing in case he brought the Genesect in for free. And then he brings Genesect. I now have to figure out a sack because I have... if he clicks Iron Head here, I have nothing that takes 2 hit. Like nothing. Not even a Miltank, even though it's built to kind of take on the Genesect a little bit. It doesn't take 2 hits. So what I decided to do is I shot the Genesect. I don't think Sneasel is absolutely necessary for the win. And had I gone Miltank there, I would have taken enough damage that the Latios or Thundurus would have killed me afterwards. So that's why I did it like this. Now, I decided to go into DANCIE here, but as you can see here, I immediately decide to swap out to Miltank. The reason I did that is because I didn't want to risk setting up on the Thundurus this turn in case he was carrying Flash Cannon. I did check, and Thundurus does get Flash Cannon, so I didn't want to risk just dying. I'd rather like, okay, let me quickly scout. I know Miltank can take the hit and can take whatever hit comes next, except for one specific hit, and if he goes for that hit, as you can see he's about to do, we just win the game. Because he locks himself into Dragometer with the choice specs. I go into DANCIE, I set up the +2 speed. You can probably guess what's gonna happen now. Let's just turn up the pace a little bit. We get the Rock Polish, Diamond Storm, boom. We just need to hit the other Diamond Storm and we absolutely win. Yep, boom. Because of our rocks, no Sash can help him. We have Mystical Fire for the Genesect. Even with the Auger Barrier would have died by then. And Latios dies to a Moonblast. So we do get the 2-0 victory. We got the DANCIE sweep as I really wanted. Well, not as I wanted, but as I wanted the game plan to be. So we did carry out the game the perfect way I wanted to. We didn't even touch Pheromosa. Like, Pheromosa didn't even come out. But I feel like the pressure of Pheromosa is often what drives my opponents to what is called bring a lot of choice Scarfers. Because I am uncertain if Thundurus was Scarf as well. It might have been. Because it wasn't boots, and it wasn't specs based on the damage. It could have been AV. I've seen AV Thundurus be a thing before, but I did bring Diamond Storm on the physical side because of Blissey, but it also helps for AV Thundurus. So yeah, we get a 2-0 victory. We are now 2-2, which is very, very nice. That is exactly what I wanted. I don't know our differential, but I think it's plus or maybe neutral. I can't remember, but yeah. As always, if you like the video, make sure to leave a like on the video. Leave a comment down below with thought of the battle. I know this is not what I like to do, but it is what it is. And subscribe to the channel for future videos. I will now head out to peace, YouTube.